Here I am, shopping my pantry for some chili beans. There's just something about having a stockpile of food that feels so reassuring, and yet at the same time, it's a responsibility to use it all up. Make sure you're not wasteful. But before I got into stockpiling, which would be pre 2020, I would buy, a couple of cans of chili beans, thinking I might make chili sometime that month, and that's all I'd have. And once I used those up, I was out. Typical when you're not stockpiling, right? But I can make chili twice more. And since I'm only stockpiling 1 month of food at a time, that's definitely a 3 month supply there at least. More pantry shopping. Pardon the laundry sound. I'm out here in the laundry room and shuffling, digging for some fire roasted tomatoes. I think mostly that's all I should buy because that's mostly what I use are these fire roasted. And then I'll snag, I like my chili thick, like you could almost eat it with a fork. How about you guys? I know everybody's got their own opinion on that. I saw some YouTubers just kind of back to back, 2 or 3 different ones that put celery in their chili, which that just seems strange to me. I've never heard of that before, but I'll have to try it sometime, but not today. Look at that, a little hole in my pantry. Woohoo! All right, so here are the ingredients for my chili, which I am really excited about eating because it's been, my goodness, almost a year probably since I've made chili. Just to give you an idea, relatively speaking, the red pepper is from Walmart today, and it's kind of on the long side for most peppers. And that green one I just plucked from my garden, of course, but I just wanted to show you what I meant about the peppers being on the small side because it's not really growing season for them coming out of my garden, but I'm real happy with that little guy. And then my chili beans, my diced tomatoes. I'll start with 2 cans of the tomato sauce and see if that's liquidy enough. I might need 3. And I know a lot of people do their own chili seasoning, but I've got some chili seasoning packets in here. I'm going to use a couple. Just wanted to show you really quick. I picked this little tub up from Dollar Tree a few months ago, and I love it because they're stackable. And I put all my envelopes of mixes in here, and as you can see, I've got to have at least 30 in there because I really got them packed in there tight. But that thing's so handy. So if you are a person who has a lot of seasoning packets and you hit Dollar Tree occasionally, look for one of those. I just wanted to point out that this ground beef is one of the 4 pounds from my freezer. And based on the expiration date, I got that sucker probably middle of October, I'm guessing. And these brats, those had to have been in my freezer for at least 6 months. I'm not sure. I don't readily see an expiration date. It's amazing how hard those things are to find. But I'm using those up, plus the canned goods, plus 2 packets of chili mix. Woohoo! I was watching a YouTuber this morning. She had a catchy title that she's doing the pantry challenge from an RV. It turns out they're building a home and living in an RV on their land. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I didn't have enough storage space. But apparently they have a barn that they have some freezers and whatnot in, so she's figuring it out, God bless her. Sorry for the hand, boy. Such a newbie. Anyway, you're thinking, why are you wearing sunglasses in your kitchen? So the reason why I bring up the Morris Patch Homestead is the channel that she's doing the pantry challenge from her RV. And she was making something today and chopping onions, and she had her sunglasses on. She said she'd had eye surgery, and ever since then, the onion fumes really bother her eyes. And I thought, well, they make me cry. I'm going to wear some sunglasses. That's a great idea. So thanks for the idea. Okay, so the ground beef and the veggies are sauteing there. And what I like to do at this point where the beef is almost cooked through and the veggies look like they're softening, I like to go ahead and throw my seasoning packets in there to kind of get the meat really well flavored before I add the beans and tomatoes. And I just wanted to add that my review of the effectiveness on wearing sunglasses while chopping very, very strong onions, because oh boy, they were, I'd say 90% effective. About 30 seconds into chopping, I could feel the fumes coming in around the side of my glasses, but my eyes never watered, and that is definitely a good way to handle it if you have makeup on and you don't want to risk your eyes running. All right, so the chili's mixed up, and I'm going to bring that to a boil, then turn it down to a simmer, put a lid on it, and let it cook for about 20 minutes just so the flavors can meld. But just to give you an idea of the consistency that we like, it's soupy enough you need a spoon, but you could eat it with a fork if you wanted to. And I love to put a generous dollop of sour cream along with some cheddar cheese on my chili in my own bowl. I like that because it cuts the acidity of the tomato sauce for me, and I rarely end up with, a burning stomach if I put the sour cream in. Well, here I am doing a dairy run and everything today, right? 2 stores, totally spaced out the fact that we have no sour cream. Yeah. But I do have this package of cottage cheese, which has never been opened. I bought it before the Christmas holiday. It says it expired December 26th, but I think it'll be okay because it literally had never been opened. I just cut the plastic seal off of it. I've never had cottage cheese in my chili. I may or may not like it, but a half cup serving has 12 grams of protein. Obviously, I'm not going to put a half a cup in there, but maybe a fourth of a cup. I'll let you know later how that goes. And I also ended up using only 1 can of the diced tomatoes and 2 little cans of the tomato sauce. So these little boys are going back in the pantry. Like I said, it's been a year since I made chili. I kind of forgot how much of what I use. Isn't that funny how that goes sometimes? So yeah, I'm definitely hoping my chili turns out good because it's only 54 degrees out there and headed back into the 30s. The cottage cheese on the chili was a win. Thanks for watching.